Every one of them are. Yes.
I was watching Red Zone yesterday.
You don't win.
Red Zone yesterday. That crew that yesterday they had the Browns. It was on Red Zone. It was like their 23rd time covering the Browns.
They never would have had their name.
They're still going to have me.
Yeah.
It wasn't even bad. Like Adam Marshall.
Bill Ware was fairly good.
That would be a
That still be the house
How did they not fire?
in the NFL. They're saying he looked like a uniform.
Next question.
He did though. He's got a hoodie on.
He had two hoodies on.
did.
He had two hoodies on. Showing a rain jacket and he wore glasses.
So hard.
And it was no sunshine.
Well, I was trying to do the wet rat. He was so cool until he was like,
But they were good enough, they could
He
be good.
coached that same time.
Mostly around.
The other between
it
seven.
was on for like,
We Chelsea.
they started lying.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Don't shorten me in.
Jeff Brohm this year. He had over 100 passes combined.
Oh, I was doing it.
He ends at
In
10
that
o'clock.
space between the game ends and their post game ends. I was sending all
Football games, college football. You know, by the time you go in the commercials,
Oh, you can't even.
Every single time they made a play.
I was about like, Miami fans? I don't know if I saw it, but we got a first down on that game last like, they were celebrating like they got the ball. And I'm like, first down. And they were surprised. No. Yeah.
Michigan, the Packers 4,000, they're panning the baseline, so you can section it.
Yeah.
And just one girl that's gonna show.
That's Mary Jo.
I mean, this fucking, that's in the game celebrating.
we're getting ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
And they got fans that know that before.
Right.
Not that they even know what.
No, they have utterly no idea.
How long did it take?
It's supposed to go
From
from
Atlanta.
How did they not realize that?
Between 7 to 8, maybe. Yeah, it's all night.
I think it might be the dumbest
We
thing
leave
they
here.
saw.
We would.
That's right.
I think it might be something.
9:30 next morning.
What's dumber?
But see, they're 6 hours ahead of us.
Can you sleep?
They're totally different, but.
West Virginia fans are objective. I might take a little cat now, read.
They just know about football.
What's the long?
I like it.
Not the long, we've done 17 or 18 now.
They don't want
Singapore,
They're in Texas, they're just not.
Australia a couple times.
Don't stop.
Oh, no, nowhere.
That's
When we leave here, we stop, change planes and land.
Oh, I got work 20 more years.
Hey, Joe, you can get somebody to.
I saw Mickey Colvin, the double
First
first
guy.
guy.
Oh, no.
Because
He
on
said,
that first, on the field goal.
he said even X-ray that they could.
I'm like, this is the.
I mean, a bad, male's bad. So they're like 500.
Oh,
What the?
Hey, no, they're not working.
Is he coming here? No. Did they offer?
Florida doesn't do that way.
2 years ago though. But he's.
I mean, Florida doesn't do that with Dennis Smith. Florida doesn't do that.
Mickey said.
And if they did, it depends.
So that tells me that Warren, looks like South Warren's not very good. No, they're not.
It doesn't make me feel any younger.
What you doing, Brady?
They actually.
My word.
Hey, Brady, what's your secret? Is it Slim Fast? A little bit of both, eh?
That was hysterical.
That's good.
Walking 80 miles a day.
Like, you look how it works out. But you was saying somebody body.
Oh, shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it's time to get back to work. I think, without question, we had a great feeling on Friday night coming out after the game. It was a big win for us. I thought we had a great fan turnout at the game. They were into the game. Players came ready to play, and we played a full game to the end, and squeaked it out there at the very end. So proud of our team and our effort, and it was a good performance by us. So it was good to see us do that after 2 weeks of a bye week. With that said, it's one win, only counts as one. So we got to move on and get ready for our next opponent. In my opinion, every week anybody can beat anybody on a given day, and so you got to prepare well. You got to have a good plan. You got to execute, and you got to do a lot of things right in order to win. That's just how college football works. You get about 10 to 12 possessions a game. You got to make them work. We were able to force 4 turnovers against Miami. That basically helped us win the football game, amongst some other things that happened. So we've got to play efficient football. We've got to try to get leads. Obviously, when we get a lead, it helps us play good football. This really was the first game that we had a lead, other than maybe Eastern Kentucky. So we've got to continue to try to play good early on and take care of the football while we're doing it, and continue to find ways to get better and find ways to win.
Jeff, the past couple years talked about the game after the big game. Obviously not as much success in those, but those were road games. How much does being at home, do you feel like, will help in that preparation to not have that letdown?
Well, I think you've got to practice hard, and you've got to prepare hard, and you can't take your foot off the gas. It's been talked about before. I think as I looked at that, we played Wisconsin one year, Ohio State the next year, Michigan State the other. I mean, those aren't easy games, really any conference game is an easy game. So yes, we're excited to be back home. I think our team understands. James Madison came in here and had the lead, and we had to fight and scratch and get back. We have to play efficient football. We can't give team points, other team points. We've got to do the small things on every play in order to win. And I just think that, and we have to have a good plan going in as coaches. So I just think we got to put the work in, and hopefully our team realizes that the work has to be put in, the preparation has to be put in, and then we've got to perform and take the test on game day, and that will not change. And we've got to be good at it, and hopefully we understand that.
Jeff, the offensive line seemed to get much better, or play much better this past week. Was there anything, reason why that happened? Did they just have a good game? And I got a couple other things I want to ask you, but go ahead.
Well, I think that just like everything, when you lose, the quarterback's going to get the blame, the offensive line's going to get the blame, coaches will get the blame, which they should. And that's magnified. And when you win, it's magnified as well. Do I think we played better on the offensive line? Yes. Do I think having more balance and being a little more healthy in the backfield probably helped us as well. I think we had a few new wrinkles I thought that probably helped us as well. I thought that we got the ball out very fast, which helped us as well. But there are going to be times where we're going to have to drop back and hold it longer and throw the thing down the field. So we've got to continue to get better. And that's an area that we're going to work hard to do that. But our guys play hard. They practice hard. We just got to continue to clean things up and being as efficient as we can, play after play. And I think that will help us hopefully show improvement as we continue moving forward.
What's been the secret for Chris Bell? I know you'd like to throw to him. You've done it all year. But, my gosh, in the last couple of weeks, he seems like he's at a different level.
Well, the great thing about Chris, to be quite honest, he's been with us since we've been here. He was here before we got here, and while he could have taken his talents elsewhere throughout the time, he's stuck with it. And I'm just telling you the importance of sticking with something, being comfortable in a system, being comfortable with the coaches and players and the workouts and everything ties together. You know what? He didn't have the most catches the last 2 years. I'm sure he wasn't happy with it. We brought in a transfer, and they did a really good job, but he had quite a few, and he contributed. He did a great job. And now he knows he is the guy. And we've got Colin and other guys around him, but he is the focal point, and because he's practiced hard for years now, and he continues to practice hard. I'll reiterate that. He practices hard every day. It carries over to the game. And if he continues to do that and we keep him healthy, I think he can continue to go out there and play well. And I know our quarterback is very comfortable throwing to him.
Your secondary, what a job that they did. Just talk about them and your guys on your secondary. You've had some of them for quite a while, kind of the same deal. Have you ever had a team get 4 interceptions in one game that you can remember like that?
Well, I think that, we have. I do think that we've gotten better on defense. I think our plan is better. I think we understand it in more detail. I think the communication and being on the right page when the ball snapped has been more efficient. That all pays off. That was a good quarterback and a good team. We got off to a 14-0 lead. We kind of kept the lead for the most part during the entire game, even though it got closer. And they thought they needed to throw the ball more than they had in the past. And I'm just telling you, when you can take a team out of their comfort zone and make them do things that they would rather not do on a consistent basis, the quarterback felt like he had to make a few more plays. And because of that, he kind of forced the thing up the field a little bit, and we were there to make the play. And I just think, and that's a great quarterback. I just think because those circumstances happened, and we made them do something that they hadn't done all year. They had the lead every game. I mean, very soundly the lead in every game. They were forced to have to throw the ball more than they wanted, and we took advantage of that. And we made the play when it was there, which doesn't always happen. We kind of tease our defensive backs. There's a reason you're a defensive back, not a receiver. But they proved us wrong in this game. They caught all of them. Even one that was a penalty and got called back. They caught all of them, and they did a great job. So a great job by our defense, and they really came through for us.
Jeff, speak to Boston College offensively, a good running back and an explosive wide receiver. And then defensively, last year, if I recall, they came out and did things you had never seen before. So how much does that make your guys really focus this week, knowing that they kind of surprised you a little early last year?
Well, it was 20-0. We were losing. The fourth quarter, we were down by 10, and we had to fight and claw to get back. And, if our guys don't remember that, then there's something wrong with them. So, it's the same coaches. They've, unfortunately for them, had a couple close losses that have hurt them, but they easily could have won. They have a good quarterback play, really solid running back, the leading receiver in the ACC. The defensive scheme gave us some problems last year, so we're going to have to play well. So I think that every team in our conference is competitive. You see it across the board every week, and we're going to have to play well to win.
Yeah, but I think you mentioned after the game that you had to convince your staff, offensive staff, I guess, to allow you, maybe if that's the right word, to do some of the things you did at the beginning of the game. How did those conversations go? Is that normal for you to have to sort of rule, I guess?
Well, it was kind of a one-sided conversation. But I like to listen to other people's opinions and hear them shoot some things down just to kind of have some fun with it, and they probably did. But you know what? I think that in general we wanted to get more people involved. In general, I wanted to make their coach think a little bit as well of what could happen or what may happen, and I wanted to put them on their heels a little bit. And I thought against this really good team, we had to have a few new wrinkles. And I thought for the most part it was advantageous to us. So for us, generating rushing yards is important. However we can do it, generating some confusion and teams to think while we're doing something can help us. Every little thing I think matters as far as trying to run the ball and pass protect and move the chains, convert on short yardage in the goal line. And we've got to continue to be creative with that. So I do think this opens up some things now that we can, utilize to have a change-up, whenever we need to. And without question, our players enjoyed that and had fun with it. And for this game, it worked. We believe it or not, when we beat Iowa when they were number 2 in the country, we played 3 quarterbacks in that game. Our starter was Aiden O'Connell. We had a another quarterback who was really good at the zone read stuff, and we used him for that. Another quarterback who was not good at it, but he could run the ball if you just told him where to run with the lead blocker, and we did that. So I just think you kind of it's important that we coach. And it's important that we do a couple different wrinkles every week and have it ready to go and have the guts to call it when we need to.
Jeff, I want to go back to the offensive line, specifically Trevante Sylvester. He's a guy that I guess had some issues or whatever coming into the season, lost a bunch of weight, and was your highest graded offensive lineman against Miami. If you could just talk about his progress in return.
Well, you know what? He loves football. He understands our system. He plays hard. He's got good feet. He's a good athlete. That covers up a lot of things when it comes to maybe lack of weight. But he did a good job for us, and he competes. And I just think that we adjusted a few things. It wasn't drastic, but we adjusted a few things up front. I thought for the most part it helped us. There's some areas we for sure need to continue to clean up, but having him back who has been with us for a while, it's just like getting anybody back at another position. It can help your team, and I think he loves football. He loves to compete. He's been a great teammate, and we need him to continue to progress and play well and be as competitive as he is.
Jeff, you mentioned obviously having some wrinkles, doing some different things against Miami. Chris said there was a play in there for him that you guys didn't run, but he's hoping you run it against Boston College. Just overall, I mean, a lot has been made about the plays that you run in the playbook. Where do you get the most inspiration from in creating all of these different plays? I mean, is it somewhere, obviously the answer is other teams, but where is just some of the ways you kind of get inspiration from doing a lot of the things that you do?
Well, with me, I may be different than others, but I'm always scared we're going to lose at the beginning of the week. And so I try to, all right, I got to think outside the box and how can we create some plays and points. And I hate losing. So it's not till the end of the week that I start to feel a little more confident. But we just kind of threw some different wrinkles in. And yes, Chris has some plays that he can take advantage of. We didn't get to those, but he was a good decoy. I just think that I've been involved with the defense more since the end of last season, especially in the off season. I think they're off to a great start, and I try to see things from both perspectives and what can give them problems. And sometimes if you're only in the offensive room, you get narrow vision, and vice versa in the defense room as well. And I know what I think throws them off a little bit, which sometimes you're like, why does this throw you off? But it does. So I just think you just got to continue to be creative and put your players in the best position to win. And while you need to have a system and a package, it's okay to tweak that and throw some adjustments in there if you think you're getting your ball to the best players and if you think it can help you win. And like I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it looks like crud, and then you're like, why did I do something so stupid? So you just continue to work your way through it.
Jeff, to go off of that a little bit, you mentioned fun the other night a couple times. Chris talked about how much fun they had in practice, and he said people were kind of like, what's coming next, and to see what's happening. Even one of the defensive guys said that they kind of fed off of that. How much do you need that in the middle of a season when, it can get, long days and nights and things like that? How much fun do you have to have?
Well, I think it's very important. It is a game. We all want to win. We all want to win bad. Players, coaches, fans, everybody, which is great. We want that. But, man, you work year-round, and these guys work year-round, and shoot, we just had one loss, and you just feel like crud, man. You get down, and you're like, gosh, dang it, man, I wish we could have done this, and that. And you don't want it to deter the same work ethic you had and the same energy and the same drive that you had to be great, because it easily can. People read, and they hear things and see things, and all of a sudden you lose, and you're like, oh, okay, shoot, we're the worst team in the country. So you got to just find ways to make it fun. I want our guys, throughout the season, hey, I hope we win them all. But as things happen, you got to be able to continue to practice hard and continue to love competing and continue to fight the next fight. And that's why I know it's generic, but for us, I mean, it is a one-game season, and we will continue to preach that. And no matter what we did the week before, win or lose, you're expected to win and have your best performance the next week. So we've got to get back this week okay, you've got to put your foot on the gas, and we're expected to have our best performance. So however great you think you did, or maybe you didn't do, you've got to step it up this week. And I just think you want them to enjoy putting the work in and coming over and doing extra. So whatever we can do to kind of make it fun, we want to try to do that.
The fake field goal early in the game. How long have you had that in your playbook? Since Trinity?
Well, I tell you, you know what, Coach Meslowski, our special teams coordinator, I think we hired him at Purdue our last year there. He was in a quality control role. I think every year he's gotten better and better, and he'll be the first to tell you, look, I want to be creative, and I want to make sure as you're studying anything you want to do, don't be afraid to bring them up to us and let's try it. And then if I see something even on Twitter or another team do, I'll send it to him. But without question, he's done a great job of, in my opinion, especially last year and up to this point this year, for the most part, we've gained the advantage in special teams, which is huge. We've been outstanding kicking the ball and being accurate with that and blocking. We've been pretty good on our return game this year. We carry fakes every week. It's just a matter of calling it. Sometimes when we have things in, I don't want to think about it too much, so I'll just have them come to me quickly before and ask me, and we go with it or we don't. I don't want to think about it too long. But we have a plan going into it, and without question, we thought this look was there, and we executed it pretty well. And we had some other things in too that we almost called, but I didn't allow them to pull the trigger on it. But we'll see if we can use it moving forward.
Can you tell us what that was? No.
Jeff, how did you think Miller played in the game overall, and then what would you still like to see or see more of from him?
Well, I think I've talked about Miller before, where this young man really cares. He works really hard, just like Tyler. He's coming here his last year to make a difference and to prove to people that he can be a productive player. And I can't talk more about the work ethic he puts in to do that. With him, every player's different. The guys that care so much can sometimes press during the game because they just want to make every play and they want to do things right. They've got to be able to, pull back from that and play a little looser, but be smart as well and don't think that they have to do that. Right now, he's not the most mobile quarterback in the world, and when the play breaks down, he's got to be able to get up in there and get us some yards, or occasionally tuck in and run it, which we talk about every game. I don't think any rushes again other than some sneaks, so we've got to continue to work through that. If he does have to get outside, he's got to throw it away. Unless someone comes open, we don't need to force it. There were a couple times it was a little close there, so I just think he's got to continue to make good decisions. What he can do, he's an accurate passer. He can see things. He's played a lot of football. If we can get some things open and spread some things out for him, I think he can deliver the ball accurately. Sometimes I tell him, look, every play's not going to be open right away. You've got to be able to have some patience and allow things to develop and work through things. And he's continuing to do that. And I think these guys really had a good pass rush, and he knew that. So I think sometimes just relaxing in the pocket, having great poise, and standing in there firm and strong. I tell him every time, every throw, I need you to throw with conviction. Follow through, snap the wrist, be on balance, and if you do that, I'm fine. But you can't get caught going backwards and being indecisive too much, and that's easier said than done. You got people coming at you from all angles. You got blitzes coming. Sometimes it's blocked, sometimes it's not. And you just got to know where that outlet is. So I just think we'll continue to work through that. But that's with every quarterback. So even the ones in the NFL, you got to continue to work through that every week. But I thought he came ready to play. He was accurate with his passes. He played a really good, solid football game, and we just got to continue to, play good around him. I thought it helped that we were able to run the football and had some balance and didn't have to throw it 55 times a game.
Following up on that, you mentioned how Miller can sometimes be someone who maybe presses a little bit too hard, and after that Miami game, he was visibly emotional. Do you think that you guys coming through and earning that big victory can be maybe a watershed moment for him in order to maybe play a little bit more loose?
Well, I think he can, but I still think that he's going to want to win every game. He's going to want to make every play. But that's a part of playing quarterback. I think even as you go back and watch him in the past, maybe that's what happened sometimes in the past. He was sometimes pressed a little bit if things weren't going exactly their way. But I do think he played in a pass-happy offense, which puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So I just think with every quarterback, good players around him that are producing a package that identifies his strengths and tries to play to that. Good defense. All those things matter. And I know that he'll work his tail off, and he cares, and we got to continue to just put him in the best position to get things done. Thank you.
You guys ready? Good. Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well. Just really excited about the game our guys performed last week. I think it's a great team effort by our guys. I think look at our staff, not only just the coaches, but support staff does an unbelievable job. Adam Mueller, KD, Brandon Sharp, Dan Rowe, Brent Irvin, they do an unbelievable job with our guys. We always try to give our guys a theme. And the theme last week was the thrill in Manila. And I think when you think about Ali and Frazier, their third time competing, it is so much parallel between Ali, the city, the community, and the Louisville Athletics. We played University of Miami in 23. We beat them. We went all the way down to the wire. We played them 24. They beat us. It went all the way down to the wire. So this one was, the thrill in Manila. And in boxing right now, it's 12 rounds. But back when Ali and Frazier fought, it was 15 rounds. And it was in the Philippines, October 1st, 1975. And I think Coach English does an unbelievable job of just permeating that into our players. And we actually showed them that fight Thursday night. And man, they were just amazed of the blows, the ebbs and flows of that fight. And if you watch that last drive of the game, those guys were saying, hey man, it's round 15, thrill in Manila. And I just think Coach English did an unbelievable job of delivering that to our players. And I think Ali, in the spirit he had, took us to get the victory. With that being said, I'll pause for questions.
Coach, one of the interceptions, I think it might have been JoJo's. You sprinted to the end of the end zone and did a little celebration of your own with the guys and all that. First of all, have you still got some wheels? You can run pretty fast down there. But what's that emotion like for you when one of your guys makes play?
It just euphoria, really. I mean, as coaches, we're just ex-players. I mean, when those guys make plays, as a coach, you feel like you're making that play. And you just know how hard those guys work this off-season and training and the preparation they put into having a successful game plan and implementing that game plan. And just to see JoJo being from West Palm, he had 50 to 60 people at the game for him to make that play. Man, that's just an unbelievable feeling. Because you know how much time and energy and effort he put into this game. And to see that as a coach, man, it make you proud. Like, because really, your players are your coach's closest thing to your kids. I spend more time with my players than I do my own son. And like I always said, the players are the closest thing to your kids. And we make that play, man, it's just, like I said, just euphoria. Just you feel a sense of joy, a sense of happiness, and just want to do it again.
Steve, Carson Beck only had 3 interceptions coming into the game. He had 4, obviously, against you guys. What can a game like that do for the confidence of these guys, especially knowing, maybe a lot of new guys, but last year's passing defense wasn't as strong maybe as this year?
Great question. I think first of all, I think it goes to the whole defense. I have a little girl, she's 7, her name is Ava Rose, and she loved to eat cheesecake. But that's third down, and that's getting up the quarterback. You got to eat your vegetables. And that's for us stopping that run. And that's what we did last Friday night. Our D-line, our linebacker, they feed the run game. In the balls pop, in the secondary, we got the football down. So stopping the run for us, just eating the vegetables. You got to eat your vegetables. Third down, now you get to the cheesecake. You get into the brownies. That's what we feast at. But you got to shut that run down first. And that's the things I think those guys did an unbelievable job of. And I think when you look at it, the more time you have a chance to put the ball in harm's way throwing the football, the more times that Cleve, Renee, those guys, AJ, to get after that quarterback. But until you eat your vegetables, you can't get them third down. And more the time the ball's in the air, we got a chance to affect the quarterback. That's when we got a chance to make plays for our team. I was fortunate enough to be at an institution where they held the Peyton Manning Passing Academy. And he said this story that I'll never forget. He said he never threw a ball just to throw it. Even he was throwing with a teammate or throwing his wife or throwing it to his son. Every time he threw a ball, he took it as a drop back pass. And our guys got to believe, anytime that ball was in the air, you got a chance to get it. That's our football. And it has to permeate through our team, and it also permeate through the National Football League because Quincy Riley got a pick yesterday. So I think it's big time. I think they come in flocks, and hopefully, they keep going.
Kind of following up on that, being in position is one thing, but actually making the play is another. And you guys, 4 interceptions would make any wide receiver proud, the catches they made. How much do you work on actually tracking and catching the ball?
I think that's something that, my years of coaching, I think came from Coach Brohm. He does an unbelievable job of setting up practice. I don't know if you guys ever were there in this part of practice. We do a deep ball drill every day. And we go down once, then we come back the next. We do it every day. And they just tell no DBs, man, just track the ball, track the ball. When the ball's in the air, that's your ball. But that drill, I think, is probably one of the best drill that I have ever been around on teaching the DB how to track the ball. The next thing I think it happened this summer with Coach Reno, our sprint coach. Anytime you have a defensive back making play, it starts with sprint coaches because they're around those guys more times than you are. So with the toughness, it's just the anxiety, all the stuff going on in the summer training, and then those guys catch balls after that summer training. It's hot, you're sweaty, you're tired, and putting those guys in stress. And I think he played a big factor in that also. But I think Coach Brown, he sets up practice. For us, we got to get the ball, man. We got to attack the ball.
The Antonio Watts interception, can you walk us through how he made that play? Because he kind of chose to peel off and go back, and then, just being able to track the ball, is that part of that deep ball drill that you were just talking about right there?
Antonio is a really good athlete, a young man for football. He works at his craft. I think you go back 2 weeks ago, he had a one-handed pick against Pittsburgh around 2 or 3 yard line. So first of all, man, he got unbelievable ball skills. I think he was a baseball player in high school, so that helps. But for us, Coach Brown preaches, man, who has the ball in harm's way? The quarterback. So watch the quarterback. It's kind of like the old Western movies. I'm just using these not analogies because those things pop in my mind. It's kind of like when those guys in the old Western movies, everybody got their hands on their, on their guns, they wait to draw. That's how you are as a defensive back. You're in your pedal and you watching that quarterback. And once that hand draw, we call breaking the arrow, I'm gone. It's the same thing as an old Western movie. We got a stare down going on between me and him, and once that arrow breaks, I'm gone. And just for him, just being a phenomenal athlete, catching the ball, making a play, and putting our team in a good position to make plays. And I think we scored off that drive. So anytime we can give the ball back to our offense, we really don't call them turnovers, we call them takeaways. No, we take the ball away. That's our job, take the ball away, to put the ball in Coach Brown's hand and let Isaac and Miller and Bell, Lacey go do their thing.
Coach, when you look at Boston College, your next upcoming game, what do you see from them, from their passing attack, and how do you kind of keep the guys, I guess, maybe grounded after such a big performance?
I think the biggest thing with Coach Brown talk about, every game is a one-game season. We played last Friday night. Hey, that game is over. Our focus right now is on BC. We got to do a great job of eating our vegetables and shutting that run game down, and do a great job sticking their receivers, number 11, number 4. Those guys are really good athletes. We get a chance to watch those guys on tape. They make some explosive plays. So we got to do a good job with eye discipline, make sure you're reading our keys. But it comes down to preparation. It comes down to mindset. When you get in week 7 of the season, that's what it's about. It's really not about what they do. It's about what we do. And it really starts with day in our preparation. Then it also moves into tomorrow with our on-the-field performance when our practice habits. But it's about what we do, our mindset and our preparation.
Coach, in regards to Boston College, Bond is one of the leading receivers, 11 in the ACC. What do you see with him kind of on film, and does he kind of remind you of anybody?
Man, he shifted. I mean, he's in and out of cuts. Does an unbelievable job with the football in his hands. You know, he has a lot of yak yards. So we got to do a great job of wrapping him up when we tackle him. They move him around so much, so that'll be a challenge to identify him. But he's a really good player. Who he reminds me of, he reminds me of some good players. I can assure you of that. And we definitely got our work cut out for him. We game planning right now, trying to get a good plan for our guys, go execute. But we got our hands full with Bond, and our guys will be excited for the challenge.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Go Cards. Thank you. Have a good day. Yep.
Good thing is everybody be listening to us because it's on the CW. Virginia Tech. Blacksburg. I was on for a night game. So, there. But they. I don't know about that. That's Kentucky fans being hopeful. Good things happen.
Barry Mack, Javante Sylvester. Questions for our guys?
Trevante, a lot has been made about the line and how you guys have kind of made the jump. It kind of goes in line with you being back out there on the field. Kind of take us through how difficult, I guess, it was to sit out, some of fall camp and early in the year, and when you got back, how much you've kind of progressed.
I mean, it was definitely difficult sitting on the side watching my teammates, my brothers, go out there without me and put in pain without me. That's something I definitely wanted to do with them, and I felt like a piece of me was missing when I wasn't out there with them on the field. But I just got to thank God that He allowed me to step back on the field with my brothers and get out there and put in some more pain with them.
Follow up on that. So how did you feel out there, making your first start of the season? I mean, you graded out quite well. So how did you feel like you performed out there?
I feel like it was, of course, we did enough to win the game. It's not just me. It's 5 guys out there on that offensive line right on the side of me that's helping me. But you definitely always want to do more. Like, you always come off the field after the game and knowing what you could have done better. So I feel like there's a lot we could have done better and that we will keep working on and that we will do better this week.
All right, you had a pick in this game. You had a lot of really important open field tackles on Friday night. What went into the preparation going into the game against Miami defensively, and why was the run defense and the pass defense both so kind of effective? What, from your perspective?
I say Coach English harps on getting to the ball in practice. So just having that bye week, that extra week of preparation, everybody flying to. But I say it just came from practice. That was just a testament of practice. Everybody just straining their practice, doing what they had to do, just to know going out there facing a big opponent, just going out there to try to get the job done.
For both you guys, how do you guys celebrated the other night? How do you put that behind you and focus now to Boston College so you don't have a letdown moving forward?
Like Coach Brohm always says, it's a one-game season. Every week we move on to a new team, so we got to treat that team as that's just our one-game season that week. So we have to, after the game, we literally have to put it behind us and focus on the next team. It doesn't matter anymore.
I say it start, honestly, today just watching tape on Boston College, getting ahead of the game, just recognizing formations, get familiar with their offense. That's the main thing, just starting to watch tape early.
the last year against Boston College, they came out, they were up 20-0. They'd done some things defensively that you guys hadn't seen. How much do you remember that as a group, and how much do you kind of take that as, okay, we really have to be ready this week?
Yeah, we do remember that, and we remember how hard it was to fight back, to get back into that game. And going into this week, like even my offensive line coach, he literally instilled that into us after the Miami game while we were watching film. He told us to remember what happened the next week after coming off a big win. And so we got to play to our full potential and not let up on anything.
Yeah, Coach was in here talking about the thrill of Manila and how he used, or how the coaches used that as sort of the theme. What was your guys' reaction to that, and how did that play into your performance?
Sorry, can you repeat that question for me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, the thrill of Manila, the theme for the week, and I think he said that you guys watched some of it Thursday and Friday. Just wondering how that played into your performance, what you thought of that theme, so forth.
I think it's a great theme. I think it played a big role in our performance. I think Coach Brohm is a great coach, and he always knows what he's talking about. He always gets us ready in some type of way, some type of form. And it's literally always the right way each week. So I feel like that theme was literally perfect for that week.
Looking at that, the Thriller Manila fight, it just that mindset coming into the game, just thinking like a 15 round heavyweight battle all the way to the end. Just start to keep swinging. Knew it was going to be in a tough one. That was just the mindset. Really, it was definitely a good mindset. We knew that it was a good team. We was a good team. So just coming in there battling, just trying to come out on top.
I guess going off of that, had y'all seen that fight before? No.
Nah, that was my first time.
Yeah, that was definitely the first time.
Was it on YouTube or did they have it?
I don't know if it was on YouTube. It was definitely a clip we seen. We watched a little reel of the whole 15 rounds. So definitely just knew it was going to be a long. Just had to keep fighting.
Kind of going off that, he had also mentioned just how you got to eat your vegetables, you got to stop the run before you can have your cheesecake of the interceptions. And I just want to know, are you guys feeling good about eating your vegetables and eating cheesecake? Because it seems like now this defense is working on both sides.
Yeah, definitely. Main thing is just getting to that ball. Once you get 11 guys to the